Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Walkie Talkie on Wednesday. We were going to talk about some of our goals for the new year. Do we have a New Year's resolution? Don't really do a New Year's resolution. I've done research and studied the statistics, and just personally, I know that New Year's resolutions is something that most people do not keep. I think the reason being is people go in so hard and so fast and so strong with all these goals in mind, and then most people try to lose weight, quit drinking, quit doing drugs, quit smoking, try to save money, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And then they decide that, what's the point? They feel like a failure. They get in it for a month or two, and then they just say, okay, what's the point? So in a sense, I do kind of feel the same way about it. It seems like whenever we decide we want to lose weight, someone invites us to go out to eat. And of course, it's not the best choice of healthy foods. So what do? You don't want to be rude, so you go ahead and eat. And then your diet is just gone away. So I think this year our goal is just to have goals and to have plans, and not to overextend our ability to accomplish things, so that we don't feel like we're a failure, or that we are being deprived of being able to do the things that we're able to do. And the biggest thing, I think, for me personally and my husband, is to make wiser use of our time. There are many days that I don't feel very well, and whenever I don't feel well, my husband tends to want to just hang out with me because I don't feel good, and it's mentally draining for myself because there's so much that I want to do, but I physically sometimes just do not feel like doing it. So mentally, it makes me feel like a lot of my time is being wasted. So I have learned to just pick myself up and carry on and try to get stuff done anyway. Sometimes I do good with that, and sometimes it sets me back a couple of days. So biggest thing is trying to balance everything out and to set smaller goals and just let reality set in that things are just different. My husband's over 50. I'll be 50 this year. So it's time for us to start slowing down a little bit and focus on the things that are a priority and that are important, and things that we really would like to see get done here on the homestead. There are many projects. Lots of them are going to be put on the back burner, and we're going to focus on the things that we really want to see happen this year. One of those things is the traditional garden with the rows and the soil. Proved to be almost nearly impossible for us to keep up with this year. So we definitely plan on putting in some more raised beds. Those seem to be easier for us to manage and also very productive. So that is something that we definitely want to do. We have talked about adding on to our little cottage. We may wait on some of it, but we are thinking about going on ahead and adding on a utility/office room, so that I have a spot to work on my videos work on my crafts, and everything can just stay where it has a home to stay. I haven't touched my sewing machine in a couple of years, just simply because I don't like to drag it out and set it on the kitchen table, and then we have to move it back and forth whenever it's time to eat supper. So that's something that we think we can live without a bigger bedroom for the time being, and try to build us a small another little extra room for just storage and the computer, crafts, the sewing machine, maybe a day bed, something like that, just to give us a little more room on the inside, because it is really, really small. But that was one of the sacrifices that we made several years ago when we decided we were going to downsize. So it's been a few years now, and kind of anxious to get a little more room. So I think we're going to go with an extra little added addition. And then later on, we'll add on and get that nice big bedroom like we used to have before we downsized. But it just isn't important right now. But having office space, extra storage space, and a place for me to do things that I like to do indoors is definitely necessary. And we figure that it is important because I do have a lot more equipment. I need a spot for my printer and different things like that. And again, that way it doesn't take up our kitchen table. I can just have a space for it, and it'll have its own place. And the camera that I bought, or my husband bought for me last year around my birthday, which is in March, has done nothing but give me problems. And whenever something frustrates me, it makes me lose my train of thought, just like many of the rest of you. So it was quite aggravating. My husband finally got aggravated with it and threw it in the trash. So, with that being said, I spoke to a lot of my subscribers, or a handful of my subscribers, and asked them what kind of equipment do they use. About 75% of the people said they just used their cell phone, which is what I enjoy doing on my walkie-talkies. But whenever I'm set up inside or working on a project outside, I don't have a selfie stick or nothing like that for my camera. So I like to get the big camera out in the tripod. So that brings a thought to mind. If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch. Well, unfortunately, I don't like staying on the porch. So after talking to a friend of mine, a subscriber, she told me what she used, and it was extremely pricey, but if it saves me all the aggravation and just being irritated with the camera every time I turn it on, I have to make sure this works, make sure that works. It was all kinds of little things that kept going on with it that shouldn't have been a problem. I don't know if we just bought a lemon or what, but my husband said that he wanted to just go ahead and get me something that I would never have to worry about replacing again. And if it did have a problem with it, it was a well-known brand so that we could get someone to work on it if we ever had a problem with it. So that's what he did. Us being frugal, I always save money. I always try to put money back in case we need something. So that's what we decided to do. We bought a new camera, a new complete setup. I don't know much about it yet, so I'm going to be learning it. It's going to be an experiment, and it's also sure it's going to test my patience and my nerves, trying to figure it all out. So it's going to take me a little bit to get it figured out, but we'll get there. Just like with everything else, you got to crawl before you walk, right? So definitely have been enjoying doing the YouTubing, but I've been aggravated with the camera. And it was supposed to be a really good camera, and then, I don't know, I guess maybe we got a lemon, I don't know. But, so that's what the plans are. So, is to work on some raised beds this year. Definitely seeking more of the natural things. I have some tincture videos coming out pretty soon. I recently learned about a new type of tincture that is supposed to be wonderful and help people with insomnia. I think I've mentioned it before. This is something that I have struggled with most of my life. So I'm really excited to try this and see if it works. I'm going to go ahead and I've already made it. I'm waiting the 30 days and then I'm going to try it for 30 days and then I'm going to present it to y'all with the results to see if it works like it's supposed to, so that I actually try it out before I share it with all of you. So that's about all for today. Just a quick little walkie-talkie to share some of our goals. The other goals that we had that I forgot to mention was, I said just making more wise use of our time and just reaching out to other people more, taking time to spend with people, calling them, checking on them, sending out birthday cards. You know, the people that's important to you, you need to remind them that they are important to you. And it only takes a second to text someone back or call them back. I think that's important, whether it's important to them or not. We think it's very important to let people know that you still care about them and you still hope they're doing good. The world is still absolutely crazy. Lots of people don't want to go anywhere, don't want to get out their house, don't want to get out their comfort zone for many, many, many reasons. They just think that it's polite to text people back or email them back or message them back or respond to their comments. And I think sometimes we just get busy in our own little world and we forget to take a second to acknowledge those people, especially friends and family. So that's something that we've been trying to do, is respond to everyone and get back to everyone so that they know that we do appreciate them. All of the animals are out running around. Looks like we're fixing to get some rain coming in here. There's lots of clouds in the sky. All the piggies are doing good, getting big. So what are some of your goals for the new year, or do you have resolutions? Do you believe in resolutions? Do resolutions work for you? I'd love to know in the comments below. Or are you just more of a try to set goals, try to accomplish more in this new year? What are some of your plans? What are some of your projects? Are you planning on gardening? Are you planning on preserving more food? I'd love to know what some of y'all's thoughts are on this as well. Hello, Miss Napoli, Miss Spoiled Little Girl. If there's ever a spoiled little goat, it would be Miss Napoli. Extremely spoiled. It is quite breezy. I'm sure y'all probably hearing some of the wind on the camera here. I apologize for that. I wanted to try to get out here early and get this done before it got too late, because I know we're supposed to be getting some really, really yucky weather coming in this evening. Our weather's been crazy, just like everyone else's. Every time you look up, it's raining, it's nasty, it's yucky. And another one of our goals is what we've always done, was being extremely frugal, trying not to purchase things that we absolutely do not have to have, making do with what we have, and looking around and seeing if there's anything that we already have that we can make something with or build something with or make it work for something else. So every year we try to spend less and less and less money on just luxury things and things that we don't need. The camera was extremely expensive, but us not spending money last year and not buying things that were unnecessary, we were able to save that money. So it really wasn't that bad since we had it saved up anyway. Now we also do know how the devil works. As soon as you spend a chunk of money like that, it seems like something wants to break or something wants to tear up, but we're just going to have faith and believe that this is what we were supposed to do, and that this was something that brings me much, much pleasure and enjoyment, sharing my life with others and helping others, and that it's just something that I found that I really enjoy. There were lots of other things that I would definitely enjoy to be able to do that I'm just not able to do anymore. I can tell you I would have never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be making videos, standing in front of a camera. I was the kid that didn't like taking pictures, so it definitely gets you out of your comfort zone. And if you have a reason for wanting to be a creator, that makes it even better. Then it gives you the confidence. In my case, I enjoy helping other people, and this is a journal of my life homesteading for my grandchildren, because they don't get to see me every day. So I always have that to fall back on, that even if I don't get a lot of likes or a lot of views, I know that I'm doing this so that my grandchildren can have an actual video journey and a journal of my life. So I think that's awesome, because like I've mentioned before, it would be so neat to be able to see what our grandparents and great-grandparents, what kind of animals they had, how they lived, how they prepared their food, when they planted their garden, what they harvested, how they preserved it. So I just thought that would be just an amazing thing to share and leave for my grandchildren. I'm not very much on elaborating on extremely expensive gifts and just showering people with expensive things, but leaving something like this, instead of even just a journal written in a book, they actually can see what I've done. They can actually hear my voice and know that this was their mom and this was her life. And I don't know that they would understand it right now, but later on in life, as they get older, they're quite young still, I think this is going to be something that I would think would be extremely just a wonderful asset for them to have something like this, a video journal of my life and the type of lifestyle that I live. Very frugal, very plain, very simple. They may not be interested in it right now, but I feel like later on down the road, they may become interested in it, and that it could possibly help them and teach them how to do things and learn things. Like I said, the world's so crazy right now. I know a lot of people are becoming more interested in homesteading, but they're also still in the hustle and the bustle of making a living, throwing the kids in daycare, keeping the kids busy, in sports and such, and they don't really have the hands-on, hands in the dirt, playing in the mud, picking up chicken eggs, picking vegetables, in the kitchen with their ma, out in the yard with their pa, learning all these skills. Now I think later on in life it will become more important to them, and they will see that that's just the way of life, and that is something that they probably could learn from a book or from watching other YouTube videos. But I think it just would be extra special and sweet for them to actually learn it from their grandparents and see how things were for them. So that's kind of how my journey started on YouTubing, and I plan to continue to make more content. Some of it will be kind of geared towards the kids because they are small, and some of it will be silly, but you'll just see all of my different views on things, my silly, happy-go-lucky personality. I do like to have fun. I do like to be silly. Some people cannot believe that I'm almost 50 years old. It's actually quite irritating because I've gotten that my whole life. No matter what age I was, no one ever thought I was the age that I was. But I think I refer back to the Bible on that one, that we're supposed to have a childlike demeanor about us and not worry as much as we worry as adults and just enjoy our life. So I often try to remind myself that, you know, whenever I don't feel good, to just go find something to do, go be silly, make my husband laugh, and go play with the animals, and just have fun, or just say hello to someone in town and make them smile. So it's really simple to be nice and to be sweet to others. It's not always something I feel like doing. Some people take me as a hardcover, but I'm actually a very extremely genuine, sensitive, huge-hearted person. So I think that's about all for our walkie-talkie for today. Hope y'all have enjoyed our little chat. I hope y'all all were coming up with some really good plans and goals for the new year. And I hope and pray that we all are able to accomplish these goals so that we can get things done to get our homesteads better set up and better prepared for whatever is coming our way. So farewell, homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.